Hello everyone, I am Loganathan from Loga QA Automation channel. In today's video, we will see how to create a Slack workflow which can be used for posting a message to a Slack channel through API calls. Okay, so these are the steps we need to follow. That is, we need to create a workflow, and then we need to select the trigger condition, and then we need to configure the variables which can be then passed as parameters to the message, and then action. So what is the action? That is sending the message, and then finally after creating the workflow, how are we deploying it, and then after deploying, how are we going to test? So this is what we are going to cover in this video. And why do we need this as a QA test automation engineer or QA test automation architect? There can be a situation in your project where you are expected to send an automation summary report to a Slack channel, that too automatically at the end of an execution, right? So when such situation comes, this utility will come in handy. Okay, so you can utilize this webhook and post the automation report through the API calls. Okay, with that said, let's straight away get started with creating the channel in the Slack. Okay, so let me click on this plus button, and here you see create channel, and I'll give the channel name as automation report. So in my case, it is a clean slate. That's why I'm creating a new channel. In your case, if you already have a channel where you want to post the messages, you don't need to create a new one. You can reuse the existing channel. So the channel that I'm creating, I'm making it as public, and I'm clicking on create. I can invite people, but for now I'm not going to invite anyone. So this is the automation report channel. As you see, it doesn't have any message because it is freshly created now. All right, channel is created. What is next? We need to create the workflow. So again, click on the plus mark on the left hand side bottom, just above your profile, and you will see an option channel. Click on that. So sorry, not channel. So you need to click on workflow. Click on it. So this will give you a space where you can create your workflow. So any workflow should have the starting point, and which is nothing but the trigger condition. So that is what it is. You are going to select the trigger condition. It is asking you to select the event. And here there can be multiple ways in which you can start a workflow in Slack. For example, by clicking a link in the Slack, or by scheduling it. Say for example, every day at 6 o'clock this workflow should start. By any means you can do it, but for this purpose I'm going to use this from a webhook. The moment I select webhook, I get a small pop-up, and in this I'll have option to set up variables. So for now I'll set up few example variables. Okay, these are just for your understanding purpose. In real time automation projects will use more variables and more values, but right now I'll give you a very simple and basic variables so that you can relate to them. Let me start with it. So first I'll say title, and then I'll say test name, and then I'll say status, and then I say executed by. Are you able to relate to it? So all these are terminologies that we all know, right? So what is the title of the execution, and then what is the test case that we are executing, what is the status of the execution of the test case, and then finally we included, why it did not include executed by. Done. Okay, executed by. So all four are included. Let me click on continue. So the trigger is set. Now I need to add the actions. Once this trigger is getting into play, what should happen next? So that is where the actions are coming, nothing but the steps. And I want to send a message to channel, right? So that is what is available as a quick steps in Slack workflow. Select it. And to which channel I need to send the message? I just now created automation report. If you have your channel, select it, automation report. And what is the message I want to send? It can be a plain message, okay, just like this automation report, I can say. But I want this message to be dynamic, so I want to add it. Add the variables. So insert variable. Let me say title. So title is added. Next. test name. So I'm adding test name. So here I'll say test name, and then execution status. I'll add the variable. And this is done. So all these are optional. You don't need to put the dashes and the tags and all. If you want, you can directly use the variables, but I just want to make my report little beautified. That is why I'm adding all these. So next is executed by. I copy paste this. Okay, and I'll add at the top too. Cool. So if you want to make it bold, a few things you can make it. You can, if you want to make italics, you can do it, but I'm going to leave it as simple as possible, and then I'll save this. Done. So my action is also ready. What I need to do, I need to finish it up. This is where I'm going to do the publishing. So let me click finish it up. It's asking me to name it. Okay, I'll name it as automation report workflow, and I'll save this, publish this basically. So going forward, any change that you make on this workflow, you will have to publish it. So after you publish it, I'm adding it to the channel that I've created, automation report channel. Done, all done, we are good. Now here in starts with webhook, you edit it, and when you edit it, here you see the web request URL. So this is the important point you need to copy. Now this is the important factor or data that you need for setting up your framework. But right now I'll do only the testing of this workflow. Okay, I copy this, I go to my Postman, and I'll create a new request under the Slack webhook. So I'll paste this webhook that I just created in the workflow, and then it should be a post message. The reason is it's accepting a body, right? So I'll copy this, or you can simply click on this button and copy, and go to body, select raw text, and then it should be JSON format, and then paste it, and then say beautify. So it beautified it, but slightly rearranged. So I'll arrange it in the way I want. First is title, and then test name, and then executed by. Cool. What next? Let me replace these with example text with some meaningful or relevant text. So what will be the title? Say it is a regression test. Regression test for release 1, and then test name, I'll give it as order creation. What is the status? Pass. I'll mark it as pass. So order creation, I'll say happy path. Okay, and then executed by. Let's say there is a team member in your team. His name is Gopi. I'll give that. Okay. All right. So all this is done. Now what I'm going to do, I go back to my Slack, and I go to home, and I'll ensure that I'm in the right channel, and I check if there is any message. No messages yet. So I go to Postman. Okay. I just want to keep it side by side, but anyways, let's do it this way. So let me send this message. Okay, I'm sending the message to this webhook. Immediately I'm getting 200 OK, and when I go to this automation report channel, you see that the message is posted very clearly, right? Automation report, regression test for release 1, test name is order execution, happy path, execution status, pass, and then who did it? Gopi. So now I feel that this Gopi is coming without any tag. I want to add some tag to it. Let me do it. So again, go to this, click on workflow, and go to your automation report workflow that you have created, and click on edit, and put your cursor before the executed by and add the tag executed by, and save this. Will it be enough? No, you have to publish. Only saving is not enough, you have to publish. So after publishing, add it to the channel. Now go back to this Postman and send it again. It is again saying 200 OK. Here, let me go back to my Slack channel. Can you see it? This time it is saying that executed by Gopi. Last time this executed by was missing, and this time I added the tag so that it makes more clarity. It gives more clarity. Okay. All right. This is what I wanted to cover in this video, where you learn how to set up a workflow. And when you're setting up a workflow, the trigger point will be the webhook. And then once you create the webhook with variables, how can you use those variables inside your messaging block to the channel? And after you create the messaging block, how can you publish it? Once you publish it, you can take the webhook and then you can take the variable set as JSON body and then use them in your Postman to post messages to the Slack channel. And once you are ready with this, this can be utilized in your automation framework, and the framework can send the data according to the test cases it is executing and according to the test case execution status, and according to the person who is executing, all the data it can compose as a message, and that can be sent in this webhook URL as a API call, and that will get posted to your channel. It will be a live report that will be sent to your Slack channel, and whoever is part of that Slack channel will be notified and they can get the understanding of the execution status. So that is the overall concept, but the second part I'll cover in the next video. Now learn this and configure it. First, what you do, you create it in your own playground. Okay, have a free Slack account, and in it create a channel, create a workflow, and try everything, see if it is working, and then you can go and implement it in your real-time project. Okay, and one more thing, if you observe the endpoint URL, so here you see a lot of keys, right? So these are little sensitive, and this cannot be shared with anyone. The reason is, say your organization has a Slack, licensed Slack, and then if you generate this webhook URL, and if this gets leaked, okay, to private domain or public domain, what will happen is there is a chance of getting loads of message to your particular channel, correct? So that should be avoided. So that is the reason this should be treated as a sensitive data, kind of password or passkeys or GitHub tokens. So always we need to ensure that we will store them in security vaults or GitHub secrets, or in some cloud forge secrets. So wherever the secrets are stored in your organization, follow that and store it there, and from there you take it and construct this webhook URL. So this part is always same, only these tokens that you are seeing, put them in secret vaults and extract it from there during the execution time. Okay, all right, hope this video is very clear. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. I'll try to answer them as soon as possible. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, keep learning and keep growing. Bye.